Have you ever found yourself juggling a million things, such as your client onboarding, following up, and you're working more on your admin than actually delivering client results and landing more clients or growing your business? Well, that's where I come in. You see, I set up systems for business owners. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Phebi, and on this channel we talk all things freelancing and personal growth. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you stick around, you subscribe and click the notification bell to get notified anytime I upload a video. So in today's video, I wanted to share what it is I actually do. Now, I talk about freelancing a lot on this channel, and basically that's because I'm a freelancer. But what is it that I actually do as a freelancer? I am a freelance business system strategist. Now, what does that mean? I know it sounds like a fancy title, but literally it's a mix of things that I've been doing for years, helping consultants, businesses to literally set up their back-end systems and get them organized in terms of ensuring that their client experience is improved. They're not spending too much time within their admin or doing follow-ups and all these things that take so much time. So essentially that's what I do. I just kind of set up all the back-end systems. So if you've got clients that you need to onboard or bring into your business, things like sending out all the emails, reminders, these things are things that should be happening automatically. But I think sometimes when people hear the word systems, they get a bit, it sounds like a technical word. I mean, it can be, yeah, it's technical, but it's not a scary word. But essentially it just means that I'm putting their systems in to make everything easier for them. All those bits and bobs, like sending all the emails, sending the contracts, sending proposals, and all of those bits and bobs to ensure that your client is onboarded correctly, I take it off your hands and I make sure that it's all automated and that process is running without you or your assistant doing it for you. Now, why is this important? So if you've watched my last video, I spoke about my experience with, working with other coaches and seeing that their back end was literally a mess, because I felt it on the front end as a client, right? And that really prompted me to really start helping out coaches or consultants to implement these processes that help to automate their business. And I know how it can take creativity away, especially when you're doing something that you're not so good at, which is why it's important to have someone to help you set this up if you can't do it yourself. So how do I really help my clients? So one of the first things that I look at when working with my clients is I look at their beginning process. I start from the very beginning. How are they getting their clients? Now, I used to start from the onboarding process, which is where you've got a client now who now wants to work with you. So you need to onboard them, or you need to bring them on, you need to provide them with all the information that they need in order to work with you. However, what I found was that I was creating all these systems, but then their lead generation system as well might have been a little bit broken. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to see things flowing. And I remember one client that I had built a system for. I had built her whole client management system of, her client onboarding, her client offboarding experience. And once I built it in, there was nothing like happening through, and I couldn't understand why, because this person was getting paying clients, but she actually wasn't using it properly. So then we had to look at her lead generation process and make sure that was fixed. So I now focus on lead generation and client management systems. I help my clients to generate their leads, help them build out that system as well as their client onboarding process, so that everything flows. One of the key things about the client onboarding experience is setting the expectation. So if you're a coach or a consultant, or maybe your service provider, you deliver services, even if you're a freelancer as well, you need to set expectations. And I feel like that's one of the most important things. And if you don't have a clear client onboarding experience, these things you will actually miss out. You won't be able to set the expectations. And I always find that that's where problems start to creep in, because it doesn't deliver good communication. One of the good things about implementing systems and making sure you have like a uniformed way of doing things is it allows you to improve your client communication. And client communication is one of the key things when it comes to client experience. I heavily focused on client experience when I first started out, and I still do to this day. Client experience is super important because if you have good client experience, they are going to want to keep coming back for more, right? And part of that is your communication, and your systems are part of that communication. Are they getting all the information they need on time? Do they know what to expect from you? Do they have all the information? So when you have your system set up, you have an automated way of communicating with them and making sure that they get the information they need on time, which means that you, as the business owner or the freelancer, you're not having to manually send emails literally every single day or however often they need. Okay. One of the things that my clients used to say to me as soon as I would get on the call to them is they would say, I want your system, I want what you've got. Now, what was that? I had reminders set up. So if we had meetings, I sent multiple reminders, which meant that they couldn't miss the call. When I first started out, I was booking calls with clients, but then I would have a lot of no-shows. And I was thinking, why am I not getting the clients? Why are they not attending the calls? And it was just a simple fix. It was setting up the reminders so that they get automatic reminders, whether that be text or via email or both. That helped to increase the show up rate so much. And yeah, so that's what I do. And I knew, again, that's another problem that many people faced, was that they were getting no shows. So no shows in terms of people not attending their meetings. So that's one of the things that I set up. And when people see that you are on the ball, or when your back end is on the ball, it makes them more excited to work with you, and they trust you even more. So if you are consistent in the way you deliver your services, then people are most likely to trust you even more. So it's super important to have these things in place. The next reason why it's important to have systems in place is to organize your client information. Now, one of the things that I don't like is a messy back end in terms of, just making sure that everything is in place. Clients have their own folders and you have the information. One thing that I do like about my process is that you can use this information to market your business. Now, you wouldn't obviously market or put out the client's details out, but use the information that you have obtained from the client. So why people have come to you. So when you have things like your application forms for people to come and work with you, you can use the information on there to market your services, because now you've taken key information about the client and why they've come to you, what they're coming to you for, and what they actually want to achieve by the end of working with you, right? So that kind of information, if that person is coming to you and you can see all what their desires is and their problems is and all the way you can fix it, you can now begin to use this within your marketing. And that was one of the key things for me as well, is making sure that I collect the information that I need in order to ensure that I'm marketing my service, and also that I'm attracting the right clients. One of the things that application forms do as well is to make sure that you are qualifying them before they actually work with you, because you don't want to be getting on a call with people who are not the right fit for your service. So application forms are a great way of doing that. So you can see there's a little bit of a lot. I feel like I'm talking a lot, but there's quite a bit of things that go into building out systems and making sure that you're delivering everything that you need for your clients. So that's exactly what I do. In order to get to where I am now, one of the things that I looked at was, what was I doing in my career, in my past career? So things like implementing systems, organizing the systems, making sure everybody knows what they're doing, making sure that there's an easy way to collaborate. That's what helped me to actually figure out what it is I'm good at and what I actually enjoy doing. And that's how I knew it was right for me. So when I first started out, one of the things that I did was try to focus on one specific tool, a tool that can do most of the things that I wanted to help my clients with. And that was what we call Dubsado. So Dubsado is a client management system that I use to implement a client management system for my clients. So it's an all-in-one system, and that was great because I only had to learn one tool and implement that one tool for my clients. So I practiced on myself a lot, and then what I did was I just continued practicing. One thing about the tool is that it allows you to, practice implementing, creating workflows, practice creating forms and doing all sorts in the platform. That really helped me to build my skills so that I can help my other clients. So having this kind of system for my own business was very helpful because being a mum and balancing family life and business meant that I didn't have to spend all day in admin. What would happen is a potential client would click on the link, they'll fill out my form, they will book a call, and they'll get automatic reminders. This means that I don't have to do all of that by myself. I didn't have to do it manually. It would happen. All I had to do was show up on the call. And one thing about that was I was able to block out my time on either side. So maybe I wanted to start work at 10 a.m. and close at 2 p.m., which is what I do now. And that just means that I'm able to do the other things that I need to do in terms of, family life, my personal life, and all of those sorts of things. So, this is what I mean about having a system in place which will help free up so much of your time. And I think sometimes people don't realize it until they actually experience it. As a freelancer, your day is different from working a full-time job, right? You have more flexibility. I wouldn't say you have more time, but you have so much more flexibility. And that's the key thing about it. You have the opportunity to increase your income. You're not answering to anybody, which is great. Apart from your clients, I'd say that's the benefits or the advantages of working as a freelancer. How do I start my day? So usually I wake up, sort out the kids, send them to school, and then I would go to the gym. Now I don't go to the gym every single day, but most of the days I like to go to the gym. And I don't just go to the gym for weight loss purposes. I go for number one, fitness, and I go for just to have a breath of fresh air. As a freelancer, you're working alone a lot of the time, and if you have multiple clients, you can be focused so much on your work that you forget what's around you. So it's a way of me having a fresh of breath air, if that makes any sense, even though the gym is sweaty and all of that sort of stuff. But it's just a way of just getting out there and just doing something outside of work that just helps me, it motivates me as well. So gym does different things for people, but it's very good for mental health. And if you are somebody who wants to work on your mental health, I'll definitely say you need to start attending the gym. Not just attending the gym and doing nothing, but actually doing workouts that will help build your strength and build, your fitness, build your conditioning and all of those sorts of stuff. Trust me, it's great. If you haven't seen any of my shorts, have a look because you'll see that I attend the gym. But yeah, that's one of the first things I do. Then I come home, I have breakfast. Try to make myself a healthy breakfast. A lot of the times I have egg, some grapefruit. What else do I have? Yeah, egg, grapefruit, avocado, sometimes some spinach, mushrooms, tomatoes. It sounds like a lot, but I mix it all together and it's super nice. And I always have a cup of tea in the morning, whether that's herbal tea or just an English breakfast. I have my teas in the morning, and then I get to my desk, I sit down and I look through my calendar. What have I got to do today? What I tend to do is I use a project management tool that keeps me super, super organized. And the reason I do this is because if I don't have a project management tool, I'll forget everything. Literally, what I like to do is once I've closed for the day, I switch off and I don't literally remember anything until I sit back down in my space, in my office, and log on again. So that's what I do. First of all, every Mondays, I tend to, log on. I have a look at what is my goal for the week, and what is it that I really need to get done? What are my due dates and things like that? Do I have any calls with clients? And I also provide clients updates about, either their project or the service that I'm providing every single Monday. So that's one of the key things that I recommend. And I'm not sure if anyone else does it, but I'm sure, people do it. But so I do that as well. Other things that I do as a business system strategist is I monitor my clients' systems to make sure that everything's working well. Because I do a lot of client management work, I do look after any client inquiries, any emails that come through. I do build out courses as well. So if they can't log into their platforms or there's a problem there, that's something I also manage as well for my clients. So I'm making sure that all the sequences, all the all the back end sort of stuff are all in place and they are working. So even though you have systems set up, you still do need to monitor them because sometimes things break or maybe your processes change and you need to update them. So again, that's where I come in as a business system strategist. As a freelancer, one of the things that you want to make sure that you're doing is making sure that you're keeping up to date. So I'm always learning as well and brainstorming ideas for new content as well. That's one of the things that I do, is put out content, because you need to keep those leads coming, you need to keep those clients coming in. And one way to do that, like I said, if you've heard my story, is I got my first client through content. So you want to make sure that you are, creating content and doing your outreach, reaching out to potential clients as well, to make sure that you still got clients coming in. One of the challenges for me as a freelance business strategist is that I get caught up in the learning curve and implementing systems. Because I work with my clients to implement lead generation and client management systems, I'm always looking for new ways to improve, which means I'm always seeing a shiny object. So let's say like a new tool or a new fancy tool, especially now that AI is out. There are so many AI tools out there that I've actually had to just block myself from actually looking at all these AI tools, because it can really get overwhelming. Even for me as a business system strategist, it can really get overwhelming. And I want to focus. The best thing to do is focus on one thing, which is why I don't want to focus on, using too many tools for my clients, because it then creates so much learning curves. So yeah, focus on one thing at a time, definitely, and become an expert in that. That's definitely one of my advices, and one of the advices that I'm trying to keep for myself. If you're thinking about becoming a tech virtual assistant, or maybe you want to become a business system strategist, then here are some things that I definitely feel like have been lessons to me and that you can also learn from as well. So you want to embrace the learning curve. There are going to be some new things that you need to learn. I had no formal training whatsoever, but I took the time out to learn one thing only. So I learned one tool only, become a specialist in that, and now I'm confident enough that I can close my eyes and implement that system for my clients. So that's one thing that you want to do, is focus on one thing, embrace that one thing, and become a specialist on that. Once you've done that, then you can start thinking about other tools and adding on other things that you might want to, implement for your clients. There's going to be plenty of mistakes as well, but you need to embrace them and always learn from them as well. Lesson number 2 is don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle or growth stage. Okay, one thing that I've learned is that we are all at different places and no two hands are the same, right? No two hands are the same. So you can't expect to be in the same place as somebody else. Yes, they might be in your industry, but you're not on the same journey. So I think that's something that many freelancers or even business owners do tend to dwell on, is that, you're comparing yourself, you're comparing your beginnings to somebody else's growth stage. If you persevere, you will get to where you want to be. And focus. My lesson number 3 is that you need to ensure that you are setting boundaries, whether that would be with your clients or even for yourself. You have set times for when you're going to work so that you can ensure that you have a personal life as well as, your business life as well. You want to make sure you have clear boundaries so that you don't burn out or overextend yourself, right? Protect your time and energy so that you can deliver your best work. Lesson number 4 is that you definitely want to invest in yourself. Now, I'm not saying go all out, but you definitely want to invest in some sort of learning. This way, you'll still be able to keep up with all of the industry things that are happening. So like I said, I didn't hesitate, and I still wouldn't hesitate to invest in my business or to invest in my learning especially. But you definitely want to do some sort of investing to ensure that, you're learning and you're keeping up to date with everything that is happening. The reality of being a freelancer is that sometimes people glamorize it, that work from anywhere. And it's great that you can work from anywhere as well, but it's also great that you can take time off as well when you want to, making sure that you're getting paid properly for the services that you're providing and so forth. But for me, being a freelancer, definitely worth it, and I'll definitely choose this over again just because of the flexibility and being able to have my own autonomy, being able to do kind of what it is I want and not feeling stuck. That's one of the things. But with freelancing, you just don't have to do it full time. You can do it as a side business as well, which is one of the great things as well. You can go into freelancing part-time. If you're starting out as a freelancer, is that you definitely want to take it one step at a time. Make sure you go through all the steps. And on that note, if you do want to start your own freelancing business, then I have a step-by-step guide that you can download. The link will be below in the description. So if you want to start your own freelancing business, then definitely click on that link and download it now. You definitely want to build a support system, so make sure that you have a network of people who can support you in different areas of your life. Don't isolate yourself, and find people who understand your journey. You can actually find communities, find Facebook communities full of freelancers who do what it is you do. And also, don't be afraid to ask for help. If there's something that you don't understand, this is where your community comes in. You want to be able to go and ask for help about whatever situation you have going on. So I hope that was definitely clear and this resonated with you. If this is something that you want to do, I would love to know in the comments if being a business system strategist or a tech virtual assistant is something that you would like to implement, because I don't feel like there's many of us out there. I hope this has helped you out and helped you get a clearer picture of what it is I actually do as a freelancer. Let me know in the comments if this actually resonated with you. That's it from me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also click the notification bell to get notified anytime I upload a video. That's it from me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.